I don't know what button to push.
Rebound taken by Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, 4-4 and go. Let other get no. We got Samurai and Tom. This is a sports octagon. Sports for forever and beyond. Spending with Samurai and Tom. From the puck to the glove to the pigskins high. Share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. Down the baseline in the bleachers, or you wanna get denied. Yeah, share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, it's 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul.
The Browns Super Bowl contenders.
Hey, listen, when we start talking about what wins Super Bowl, we talk about talent. The Browns, they have the talent. They have it.
Beautiful, for heroes proved in liberating strife. Who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. Success, be nobleness, and ever again divine. And you know, when I was in school, we used to sing it something like this. Listen here. Oh, beautiful, far spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties, over the fruited plain. But now wait a minute, I'm talking about America. Sweet America, you know, God done shed his grace on thee. He crowned our good. Yes, he did. Heavy brotherhood from sea to shining sea. You know, I wish I had somebody to help me sing this. America, I love you, America. You see, my God, he done shed his grace on thee. And you ought to love him for it, because he crowned our good. He told me he would. Every brotherhood from sea to
That is
what a
that is the way to start the show right there.
If you can't get hopped up a little bit, listening to that man build it out, I don't know what you can get hopped up to. All right. So,
Hell yeah, Dave.
Welcome, everyone, to the 15th episode of 440 and Go. La, 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 la. Sorry, I'm all hopped up, man. That's got me.
Mountain Dew.
No Mountain Dew on Ray Charles, brother. Ray Charles, letting you ride over there. I watched the music video a little bit too before, so it got me going, man. And Dave Clemens, you are right. If that don't bring you back to the Sandlot, I don't know what will, man. I don't know what will. When Benny put on the PF Flyers and just started booking it from the beast, it was great. So,
what's up, David? Thanks for watching, brother. Appreciate it.
Hey, so thanks everyone for joining us in tonight. I know tonight's a special night for a lot of people. It's a great night to be an American. I can tell you that right now. So I'm pretty pumped about everything. Got a lot of stuff going on tonight, a lot of great topics. So you got me, top left-hand corner, the one that's been talking the entire time since we started. That's Ryan Cole. To the right of me, Sam, get them a coffee mug. Here it is. Bam! That would be Sam Torres. On the bottom, rocking the Dunder Mifflin. That is not Michael, but it's kind of close. That would be Tom. So, welcome again, everybody. Very exciting show. Very pumped about it. Looking forward to the next 2 hours with everybody. Looking forward to getting everybody involved. Please don't forget, on the bottom of the screen, well, below Tom. So, Tom, help me out. On the bottom, like, share, and follow. Give us a thumbs up if you love the show. And don't forget, if you want to see us on the YouTube, we're there at 440 and Goal. You can catch it. So,
hey, Ryan, wait a minute.
Puerto Rican brother.
You're forgetting something. Ryan, you're forgetting something. What just launched yesterday?
Can you let me finish, Tom? For the love of everything.
I'm too excited.
Also,
I didn't know you were Canadian, Ryan.
You know what? I didn't either, but I'm sure it's somewhere in my bloodline.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
You might. Hey, everybody, if you don't know, you need to know. 440andgoal.com. We are as legit as a pair of Levi's at a bull riding event. Let me just tell you that. Let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Great content. We got our a special contributor, Nick Billman. I don't know. He's probably watching by now. He hasn't missed a show. He's got some stuff on there. Tom, did you drop some more stuff today, right?
I dropped The Curious Case of Odell Beckham Jr. and Cleveland. It's a read. But I'll tell you what, guys, I talk about every show. I went $100,000 in debt to become an English major.
Oh yeah.
So you know damn well when you read that, you're gonna see some good stuff. So I'm proud of it. I'm proud of what Nick's doing, man. Nick's gonna be putting out some dope content. Sammy's gonna be throwing some stuff out pretty soon. I'm sure Ryan will do something, but I'm gonna get him hooked on phonics first.
Listen,
here's what you're gonna get on autocorrect on it.
Here's what you're gonna get from the website when it comes to input. You're gonna get real level-headed stuff from Nick. Just straight.
Yeah.
These are the numbers. You're gonna get somewhat level-headed stuff from Tom. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a little bit more grounded. For me, I mean, you're getting Skip Cowherd all in one, baby. I can't wait. Because my takes are my takes, and I don't give a damn if you like them or not. If you could tell, and I will die on that cross. So.
Hell yeah, boy. Yeah. Get you some.
I probably won't put anything on there. I'll look at it, comment, like, share, stream, whatever I can do to make us feel better about ourselves. That would be my goal right off the bat. You never know. I might put some stuff on there. So, but yeah, okay, Rick, I'm sorry. It's Wranglers. So, I mean, to me, Wranglers and Levi, to me, it's all the same. I don't know.
Listen, if there is a sport that is sponsored by chewing tobacco and domestic violence, Rick Deweese knows. Because
Jesus God.
He loves him some NASCAR.
What is Sammy is really Nick, right? What is CGI?
CGI.
What's CGI?
CGI, Ryan.
Computer
CGI,
buddy.
Who's Nick
Every
Wright?
movie ever. every movie ever for the past like 7 years. Oh. Nick Wright is a dude on ESPN who
David
looks like Sammy.
How about
Don't at me.
How about me and you do a podcast together called Gordo and Flaco? Me and you. my Jerry curls, but you have to have your hair in braids again.
Isn't that the only way David wears his hair? It's in braids, and he got it from a lady with nails. I mean, I thought that's the way it just went.
Hey, he's down. Hey, we might. You never know. We need some content. I'm guessing David's Puerto Rican, just like Sam. We call it like the Puerto Rican corner. I don't know. Call it what you want, man.
I would actually really like to get David on Taylor Shop with Tom, one of the episodes when I drop it, because you want to talk about David. I know David knows his kicks, and I would love to talk about someone that has some kick knowledge.
Listen,
I'll be right back.
I'll give you another one on here who is I hope he's still watching, who has a ridiculous amount of gear, and people don't know this about him, is Ricky DeWeese spends an inordinate amount of money on tennis shoes in particular, not like Jordans or anything, but
okay. All right, you know what, Rick? I'm going to hit you up. We're going to set something up. I would love to talk to more people about some fashion. Sorry, I am so sorry. Fashion.
Rick DeWeese became an Oregon fan simply because of their uniforms.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Thanks for joining us. Hey, so I got to say, one, David Rivas is going to really appreciate our first segment. So we're going to pop into it real quick because I have to let the whole audience. And so I never really buy tennis shoes. I splurged a little bit. All right. So I'm gonna put that.
They're hot, bro. Those are nice.
They're not better than my Air Force Ones. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Ain't a lot better than that. Hey, when everyone sees the shoes I splurged on, I just need in the column where everyone's commenting a little bit of a hot or not. Yeah, the young Jeezys or whatever those
Jeezys
crap. I don't know, whatever it is.
If I could punch you through the screen right now, I would. It's
like doing a show with your drunk uncle.
Yes. All right. So listen.
Nothing wrong with that.
I need everyone's attention. I myself. Cole has the brand new light. Hey, I'll take them. Take them. Hey, they got Spider-Man on them or Batman? Just let me know. All right, brother. Look, Tom had to go away. All right, listen. I purchased some shoes. I need the hot or not button on the right-hand side. Just let me know. I'm going to slowly, little peek. Okay, coming in hot. All right. Some Air Maxes. Okay. Very nice.
Those are hot, bro.
That's right, man. From the Ponderosa collection.
What is that? What is that? What? I don't understand. Listen, I'm in the shoe store. And I'm looking at these, right? So I don't want to put myself on blast, but I'm about to. I am looking at these shoes, and I'm like, I really like those, and I always do black because I trash shoes and I want them to last as long as possible. So if I have black, the worst case that happened, dishwasher, dish it on Sunday.
David Rivas got exactly what I was talking about.
They are Def Dunham Air Maxes. No, Jake, they're not. They came from Dick's. I had no choice. We lost Tom. Whatever. They came from Dick's. I thought to myself, man, is it me or do these kind of look like Air Monarchs? So what I did to confirm.
Those look like you should close them with Velcro.
Right. That's what my thought was. So chicken taco sauce and Air Max. Oh, Ponderosa. Internet. Oh, Tom's internet went out. He'll be back. So I look behind me. I'm at Dick's, and I look, and I find this group of young kids, and I'm like, listen, I don't want you guys to lie to me. Are these old man shoes? And all three of them looked at me and said they were hot. So I went with them. Plus, I had a coupon, okay? I had 25% off the pair of Air Maxes. So I went with them.
there is 100% chance that those kids not only lied to you, but probably made a TikTok video that's going to go viral of them telling some boomer that shoes are hot.
Damn it. I knew I should have just bought the Air Forces like I wanted to. They were $89 though, and these were $89 with a 25% off coupon. Okay.
But those are Air Max 90s, bro. Air Max 90s are dope. I mean, they definitely have a following. I mean, Air Max 90s are some of the hottest you can get, man. I mean,
they're nice shoes. They're nice shoes, but they just look like they smell like a grease trap.
They don't though. I wore them once, so they don't smell like hot ass. Not yet. I got another 2 weeks of freshness, and it's gone. Grill Max 95. I'm done. I hate you,
Grill Max 95.
I hate you with a passion right now.
Listen, if you ain't wearing Grill Max 95, I don't trust you if you're at the grill.
Listen, that's a Hall of Fame board. That's a Hall of Fame. There's a Hall of Fame. That's a Hall of Fame comment right there.
Yes.
That's a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and I think on the website we have a Hall of Fame comment section. Do we or do we not? We're putting that up.
Some of these are absolute fire.
I'm pumped. So, and my mother just comments, which, oh my, and I'm pretty sure she has no idea what's going on, just that I'm getting rocked about my tennis shoes. But with that being said, this here is specifically for David Rivas because he had Chitter Chat with Ryan, I think is what it was called. So we are going to call, this is a one-time segment, David. That's all it's going to be. No more, no less. And Ryan's Retro Rewind. And this is, and big ups to my mom. Now, I'll never fit into this, but I have to show you guys this because I was super pumped when I seen it.
This is actually dope for real.
Okay. So, this here,
Retro Rewind.
Starter pullover from the Browns, baby.
That's a win. That's a legit win right
legit
there.
Starter. I was absolutely pumped. I'm very disappointed my big ass will not fit into it. I don't think I could get one shoulder into this thing, but I'm pumped because I'm giving it to my kid and I'm forcing him to wear it. No questions asked. If you don't wear it, you're grounded. That's just what it is. Okay.
It's good parenting.
Okay. And next one, hold tight. Hold tight. Not only did we get the Cleveland Browns gear starter pullover, we got the Tribe starter pullover. So
that's even more rare because I don't remember seeing anybody wear that but you and your sister.
Yeah, look, you got the Chief Wahoo on the bag.
Only two I knew with those starters.
I'm looking at this.
Probably had.
Right. Yes. And then,
bro, that probably goes for like $130.
I have to ask. So my mother sends me this stuff today. I was pumped about it just because of what it is. She didn't realize what it is. I tried to explain it to her, but you know, that's fine. Then out of the bag comes this, a calendar from 2018. Mom, I don't know what this is about. Are you sending me like some mixed signals? Like I'm supposed to figure some Chinese math out right now or something? I don't know, but I don't know what it is.
There's a map in there.
I figured it out.
Right.
Year 2018, where she finally acknowledged that she loves you, Ryan.
Right.
She finally figured it out.
Finally figured it out. She loves you,
So
bro.
you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, good news. We do have that. So that kind of coincides with today. So, you know, I'm pumped. Candace,
my cousin Candace Perry had a Buffalo Bills one.
Oh, so my mom. Wow. Hey, listen, my mother.
Did she just say not a clue, ho?
My mother just. I'm done. I can't.
Hall of Fame comment, Lori Cole.
Hey,
Lori, you're going in our Hall of Fame.
My own mother.
Right.
My own mother just
not
called
a clue. No. Done. It's going up. That's the inaugural one. That's the banner, not a clue.
Oh,
listen, I want that on a T-shirt.
Yes.
Oh no, not a clue. Come
on,
Mom.
So Barstool makes like shirts based on like catchphrases and stuff. Like amazing shirts. That's gonna be our first shirt.
No, Lori, that was amazing.
Out where my typos come from. Let's go that route. So yeah, thanks, Mom.
No, Ryan.
It's all good, Mom. And so Candace, you did ask a question.
Yeah, my cousin Candace had a Buffalo Bills one, which was pretty cool. But my cousin Jeremy actually had the powder blue and black Cavaliers one, which was really dope at that time.
Yeah. So those came
out of a really dope one was a real dope one that a lot of people had and is worth like $300-400.
Probably the one my sister had.
Tried buying the Charlotte Hornets one.
That's the one my sister had.
The Charlotte Hornets is one of the most valuable starter jackets you can get, and if you can get one, oh my God, you are on a treasure trove right now.
They may have, David. I will not tell my secrets. No, they didn't. So, long story short is that they came out. My grandmother recently passed, and they were buried somewhere in a closet, I would assume, from the last, 40 years. So I don't know what it is, but we're catching a little feedback. I don't know who it is. Is it me? You guys hearing it, or is it just me?
I bet it ain't me. I bet it ain't me.
Maybe it was me. All right. So great start to the show. Love it. Pumped about the show. A lot of hot button topics that we're getting ready to pop off on here. So let's just get into the typical old, which is turning into, in my opinion, Debbie Downer. So hopefully maybe this is the last
Ricky
show.
brings up a good one too.
Oh, wait.
Miami, the Miami Hurricanes had a really dope set.
Last summer. Are they that old? Like, have they been around that long?
No. You just look like
Air Max has been around for a long ass time. Air Max has been around forever. I think the first Air Max obviously it was the Air Max 1. And I think that was 87. I think that was 1987. It had to have been Air Max 1. Yeah. And they were smart too.
So I hate you, Ricky. I don't hate you, but you do drop some pretty bomb comments on this thing sometimes. So, and I don't care if they're Levi's or Wranglers, as long as they fit. That's all that matters. Anyways,
Ryan, you had a pair of Levi's when we worked at Verizon that I swear to God were painted on you, man. You looked like Danny DeVito in It's Always Sunny when he wore skinny jeans.
Hey,
I will never forget that. Oh my God, it was the best time of my life.
And I'm pretty sure they were stretchy jeans. I like stretchy jeans.
You leaned over on a table and popped your ass out like it was like you were like Black China or a Kardashian the whole time.
I didn't get Levi's because we didn't have that kind of money. I got to wear Bugle Boys and Lee's.
Yeah, boy.
Nothing wrong with the Bugle Boy. Bugle Boy was dope.
And he cut the bottom of the pants so they'd fit around his shoe.
I had to because I've been 5'3" for 25 years.
Well,
and they don't, do you know how hard it is?
Straight leg pants before straight leg pants were popular, and you couldn't rock it that way. That's all.
Listen,
that was.
Do you know how hard it is to find a pair of jeans with a 24-inch inseam?
Well, I mean,
it's kind of hard, but I mean, if you go Lucky Brand, you'll find it.
All right. Anyways, real quick into COVID. We always talk about COVID quickly. Here we go. What was the next comment?
David, you're coming hot tonight, and I love it.
All right.
One piece.
They get washed daily. Every time I wash them jeans, we're good. Slip them on. I don't even need socks no more. All right, coming in COVID numbers, pop them up. Here we go. Let me pull this off. Oh, that's blurry. Why is it blurry?
Is it blurry? So blurry.
I don't know why it is.
Everything's unclear.
Hold on. Let me see if it's because of that.
Can you take it all the way?
Because things are unclear at this time.
Let me refresh. Hold on. Does that do any better? I don't know what is going on.
Doesn't.
All right. Well, anywho, so I'll just say the numbers out loud. Let's just call it that and be done with it. Let me just do this. Let me try one more time. Nothing. Perfect. That's going to be great. Anyway, so 274 confirmed cases, 33 deaths. That is in Ashtabula County. From 2 days ago, from yesterday to today in Ohio, we bumped up 627 on confirmed and 36 deaths. Noticing a gradual step up every day. Last time we talked, we were around 500. Now we're at 600, and I'm guessing when we come live next, it's probably going to be around 700, 800, somewhere in there. Which, I mean, we opened everything up. Then, what do you expect? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, listen. In 2 to 3 weeks, welcome to the Thunderdome, baby, because it's going to get real.
I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah, so kind of interesting seeing how things are going in that aspect. But we'll go from there. I just want to check something real quick, guys. See, bring that up. Does it do that on this? It is totally blurry on that side. So let me just exit all.
Are you still zoomed in on that?
I'm zoomed in a little bit, but nothing.
Hey Ryan, I just sent you something. Put it on the screen. We got our first piece of merch.
Hold on. Let me bring this up. This is thanks to my mother too. Hold on.
Thanks to Nick Billman and Lori Cole.
Yeah, so keep talking, guys. I got to bring it up. 1 second. I'm sorry. But so yeah, COVID numbers are popping up.
Anyway, so you've got. I've seen. I saw today. I guess Geneva on the Lake was absolutely packed to the rafters.
Disgusting.
Yeah, tons of people, and it's not just them; it's everywhere. Everywhere is just packed to the rafters. So you know what? I said it a couple shows ago, and I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to keep harping on it. I'm not going to keep getting on my soapbox and jumping on people because you guys don't want to listen. Do what you do. Deal with the consequences, though. So
yeah. So our new T-shirt slogan is going to be "Not a clue, ho." 440 and goal. So perfect. It should be great.
$20 pre-orders. Send them to me. I got you. I'll parlay it to Sam for Just to do her magic with cricket. You'll have your 441 goal merch.
Yeah, it should be great.
We just started making money, boys.
Coming in. Lori Cole. Yes, thank you, Mom. Without you, I'd be.
Danny Reed, Dante Pollard, and Pump Boy. Your merchandise, we are still working on. So I had to go. We went and got a couple different coffee mugs to use.
Damn right, Jess.
We're gonna send those out on Tuesday, hopefully. We're just trying a different coffee mug to see if it holds up a little bit better. And Pump Boy, your shirt is coming.
Yeah, so sorry. I want to apologize. No, it doesn't matter. You'll get it eventually. So it will be great. All right, next topic. Anywho, off of COVID, like I said, previous shows, we're not going to be touching on that forever and ever. But I am pretty pumped. We're going to get into a little bit, just a touch of high school talk. Not much, but a little bit. Some rule changes that they've come up with. Let me see if I can pop this up on the screen.
Wait.
Don't pop it up on the screen?
No.
Now, so the one thing I do want to preface this with the high school, since I didn't play high school ball and I'm not very well versed, this is going to be mainly Ryan and Sam. Another thing, I'm not allowed within 500 feet of a high school or a Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, God. Gotcha. All right, my bad. So I did skip something here, and I don't know where it went. So either way, it is.
Yeah, while you're doing that, so one of the things we're gonna talk about tonight is the Browns team makeup right now. So you've got an overabundance at running back. You really have an overabundance at tight end, and you have an extremely evident deficit at linebacker. Correct. So this is a team that really, if you strengthen linebacker, I don't see any reason that this team isn't going to be in the top 10 power rankings.
Right.
I mean, but their defense is and it's not the whole defense because, Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams, just as a duo, not individually, but as a duo, are fairly solid. We could use some help at free safety. Absolutely.
Hi, Stephanie. Thanks for joining us.
But defense, we've got one of probably the best defensive end in the game.
You're right back.
Our defensive line is stout. It's just our linebacking core. Outside of Mac Wilson, I don't believe in Taki. I know a lot of people are on that Taki team. I'm not. I think Mac Wilson.
With them.
I think Mac Wilson is solid. I think Mac Wilson is going to be a nice insert. He's going to basically take up that Kirksey position. Yep. Like Kirksey's not with us. Kirksey didn't do anything great, but he really didn't do anything bad. You know what I mean?
Correct.
He was average on covering the pass. He was a pretty good tackler. Pretty stout run guy. I mean, so Mac Wilson could be that guy. Which is great, but we still need a Mike. We need a true Mike.
This is for you, David. I got to bring this up. I'm sorry. He does ask if he can have a members-only jacket with the Cole Ponderosis. I do have a members-only jacket. I put it on strictly for you. This was located at a garage sale from my grandmother, Ida.
Yeah, Ryan. Ryan is the only member left.
Yes, could be. I'm not going to lie to you. I think I'm going to bust the zipper on this thing because it is it's a medium at best, but I do have it zipped up. But it is on here, David. So, yes, it's good though for its age. I think this is Ricky being smart. Or they had a tryout WD.
I can't speak on it.
Anyways, although the Browns team makeup, I don't know what Sammy said, but yes. So we have. I looked on the roster. We have 4 tight ends right now, an abundance of running backs, and quite a few other different options. That there's no reason why Andrew Berry doesn't bundle someone together. I don't know what we're gonna do with Austin Hooper, Njoku, the guy we just drafted,
Harrison Bryant.
And there's one more. I can't think of his name. What's his name?
That turn from Michigan.
Harrison Bryant. Is that the one? That's who we drafted.
So we've got.
No,
David
that
Njoku,
is the wide receiver you're talking about.
No. Harrison Bryant, and then we've got Carlson, the dude that caught the touchdown behind the helmet from Baker. So that's who we have right now, and I think we still might. Do we still have Self the Valve?
No.
Okay. So we have 4 tight ends. So here's the thing, guys. Unless you're gonna convert one of those tight ends to a fullback, you can't keep those guys. And we already have tight ends.
The one I was thinking about was Pharaoh Brown.
Okay.
Gone too.
Yeah, he's gone. No, we re-signed him. So we have 5 tight ends.
No. There was another Brown receiver. That was the guy we dropped last year. Big guy, tall guy. I'll think of it. Move on.
Taylor Moore Taylor or Moore, right? No, this is current. So real quick, yeah, we have 4 tight ends right now on the roster, from what I can tell. Nick Billman saying Carlson won't make the team. So why not package something together? Ship some. I mean, obviously, I don't know how Njoku is going to work, but I'll tell you, with the tight ends that we have, why not trade Njoku for a quality linebacker? Why not? I think he's got some value. But go ahead. Sorry, then.
Very cool. So I think Carlson,
Ricky Seals, thank you.
Jones, he is now a Chief. Unfortunately, I'm very sad about it.
Come on, Ricky.
I think what we could do is we could package Njoku and a draft pick or 2 and trade with the Green Bay Packers, because they just lost Jimmy Graham and they have Jace Stenberger right now, who didn't see any action last year. He was a 3rd-round pick in the last 2019 draft. I think if you wanted to get rid of Njoku and kind of like garner a reward from it and bolster the linebacking position, you take Njoku, maybe a 4th rounder and maybe a 6th rounder, package it together to the Packers and get Zadarius Smith. I think Zadarius Smith would be a fantastic addition to this team. He'd work very well with B.J. Goodson and Mac Wilson. And I think we would get a very good linebacking core right there, because Zadarius Smith had quite a few sacks. I think he had 13.5 sacks last year. But don't forget, Green Bay has Rashawn Gary, a highly touted linebacker prospect from Michigan from 2 years ago, that they are ready to unleash next to Preston Brown.
Is it bad enough right now where the Browns need, like, let's just put this out on the table, Kareem Hunt? Would you trade Kareem Hunt to get a good linebacker?
I wouldn't even think twice about it.
Okay. So you would do it because of Chubb, obviously. Tom is saying no. Why would you say no to that, though, Tom?
All right, so the shelf life of a running back, let's talk about that. So let's say Nick Chubb, great running back, probably a top 5 running back right now. If Nick Chubb goes down, okay, and I don't want to see it happen, but the thing is, let's say Nick Chubb goes down week 10 and you're in the playoff hunt. You just lost your run game, which is a big staple of the Stefanski system. And
so you're saying Hilliard is garbage, right?
He's not, though.
He's not Kareem Hunt.
No, he's not. But
I would rather have Kareem Hunt than I would Dearness Johnson or Dontrell Hilliard.
So I see your situation and I raise you a situation. So we are in week 10. And say Nick Chubb does go down. Okay?
Correct.
We're not in the playoffs. We're not in the playoff contention at that time because we have a historically bad linebacking core and defense and are giving up the second or third most points in the league. So what is the point of having Kareem Hunt step in and be a good running back on a bad team? There is none. So that's what I'm saying. Like if Kareem Hunt, and the problem is I think we overvalue Kareem Hunt in Cleveland. I think in Cleveland, we think that Kareem Hunt is this like first round tender guy that we're going to get, we could trade Kareem Hunt for Von Miller. I think around the NFL, they realize Kareem Hunt is a train wreck. It's a crapshoot whether he's going to be on your team still. And although he is good, those things matter. So if a team is willing, or if a team runs into a problem where they are a playoff contender and their number one guy goes down and we have them bent over a barrel and we can bring in a true like dominant linebacker or even just a guy that's going to be able to be a stable in the middle, you'd be a fool not to pull the trigger.
So Sammy, you're saying let it ride, get rid of Hunt, get rid of him while we got him, while he has value.
I'm saying get rid of him. Yeah. Get rid of him as soon as a good offer comes.
I mean, so let's say, what would it be? Hunt with a fourth round pick? Is that what you're saying? Because Billman makes a good point, and I think he's pretty right. He says player for player trades are super rare without any draft compensation involved. No one is trading for Hunt without wanting draft compensation due to his baggage. So yeah, I mean, I'm thinking. Yeah. Are you thinking like fourth round, third round? Do you think it's a second round?
Honestly, I think we are going to have to give.
He had what round tender? He had what, a third round tender?
Second round tender.
So
and nobody even picked up the phone.
Right. So it would be Hunt in like a fourth rounder, probably, more than likely.
Listen, if we could offer Hunt, I would offer Hunt and even like a first round pick for a top level linebacker.
So here's the problem with what you're saying, in my opinion, though, Sammy. So you're saying like a historically bad defense, but one linebacker comes in and changes that. I mean, it's different in my opinion. So the thing is with the system that we run, which is so running back contingent and heavy, if Chubb goes down and we don't have that running back, then we lose a bunch of offense because we've talked about it. Baker might not be that guy that can air it out 50 times a game. We need that run game. So I'd rather keep Hunt and let him ride it than go and just get one linebacker that can contribute a few more tackles a game and help in coverage and stuff. Because if we're as historically bad as you're saying that we are, one linebacker change that. You know what I mean? But one running back will change the offense for us.
So here is why I think one linebacker, and I'm not talking Joe Schobert. I'm talking a dominant style running back, a linebacker. Okay, it would have to be blockbuster, which is why we're probably going to end up having to keep Hunt. The way the current makeup of the Browns is, the easiest way to beat them is you run right up the middle. You punch them right in the mouth, and it's the same way it was last year. Like you just run right up the middle, and we can't
have a weak defensive line, and we probably have one of the best defensive lines in the league.
We can't do anything to stop it. We have nobody in the back on the linebackers to back up to help.
I'm going to disagree with you there because our defensive line is pretty stout. We have a good rotation.
They were pretty stout last year, and I want to say we were like 22nd in the league in rush defense. So I'm going to double check that. But
yeah.
So here's the thing, Sammy. I would say I wouldn't mind trading Kareem Hunt. The only way I would trade, though, is if I got Anthony Harris, if I got maybe Brian Burns from Carolina, if I got Telvin Smith from Jacksonville, or if I got maybe like Shaq Barrett, if I got Bobby Wagner, that's what I would be comfortable trading in draft compensation. for. And it's going to be a lot of draft compensation, but a transformative player on defense. I'm not trading Kareem Hunt for a linebacker that's going to maybe contribute a few more tackles a game, especially with the offense Stefanski runs. And I'm going to go back to it, and I'm sorry I keep beating this dead horse, but the fact of the matter is Stefanski runs an offense that is predicated on a running back. Mm-hmm. Okay? Chubb goes down. I'm sorry. D'Ernest Johnson and Dontrell Hilliard are not going to be effective in that scheme. Okay? Like, I just don't feel that they can be an every down back. Now, if you were to tell me, if you were to say to me, like, hey, Tom, you know what? Carlos Hyde's still on the market. Bring him back. Carlos Hyde just got signed by the Seahawks, so that's not an option. Hey, Tom, Marshawn Lynch is available. Bilal Powell's available. Even Isaiah Crowell's available. Then I'd be cool. You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is those effective running backs either aren't in the league anymore or are on a team.
But the thing is, it's a next man up game. Look at as much as I hate the Steelers, look what James Conner did. Look what James Conner did for Pittsburgh. We allowed 2,400
yards rushing.
You can't compare James Conner to Ernest Johnson or Dontrell Hilliard, though, Ryan. James Conner is
who was James Conner before?
But was nobody.
James Conner is a 1,000-yard rusher his rookie year. James Conner beat Panther 2 times.
Running backs are a dime a dozen.
Right.
Correct.
So what I'm saying is, I'm not comparing Dontrell Hilliard this year to James Conner last year. I'm saying, look at James Conner when Le'Veon Bell left Pittsburgh, did the holdout. James Conner, nobody knew who he was until he had that wild ass haircut.
Look at Denver.
James Conner was highly touted.
Look at Denver. Look at Denver.
Denver has Melvin Gordon.
Denver puts out a 1,000-yard rusher every year, no matter who the line is, no matter who the coach is. They just get 1,000-yard rushers since Terrell Davis was there. All right, running backs right now in the league are a dime a dozen.
Terrell Davis was running the ball blind at one point in time. Let's just be realistic.
You can close your eyes and pick out of a barrel, and you're going to pull out a 1,000-yard rusher. All right, so. We don't need another 1,000-yard rusher. So if you're truly concerned with the health of Nick Chubb, then what you really should be talking about is load management. Yeah. And load management back, you can pick any of those up. But Kareem Hunt, I like to think he has more. Honestly, if the value isn't where it should be, no, you keep him. But I wouldn't mind seeing him. Like I said, I would take an aging guy who's only going to be here for 1 year. You know why? Because here's what I want to ask you. How many years, what do you think the window is on this team?
I think it's 5 years.
You think this team's going to be, you think this team's going to be together for 5 years?
Yeah, I do. I truly, in my heart of hearts,
I don't think
5 years. Economically,
it can happen with everything that's going on.
No,
I mean Myles Garrett, Baker Mayfield's going to want to get paid.
We have to pay Myles Garrett after next season.
Yep.
The following season, we have to pay Baker,
and that's a big if. That is a big if.
And that's assuming that Odell Beckham Jr. or Jarvis Landry doesn't have a breakout year, and then acts like every other receiver in the NFL and demands a new contract. I mean,
I believe with the cap space that the Browns have, listen, Browns are always at the forefront of cap space. Say what you will about the Cleveland Browns, but the Cleveland Browns know how to manage their money.
Kyle Jones, you are correct. I'm not saying Nick Chubb is just another guy. Nick Chubb is
Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt is not just another guy either. You don't come out of Toledo and rush for 1,300 yards in Andy Reid offense.
You don't.
With Patty Mahomes.
Yeah, he's got Patty Mahomes.
He didn't have Patty Mahomes at that point, though.
And
he had Alex Smith at that point.
And one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. But and that's not saying he's not a great running back. But what I'm saying is you don't need 2 elite running backs. So if you have an elite running back and you're concerned with injury, then what you bring in is a load management guy. So, you could bring in Dontrell Hilliard and any of those guys like him can take some of the thunder off of him. You know what I mean? Who was it? The last time we ran a 2 running back system that I can remember. Wasn't it Willie Green and Lee Suggs?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And why did we run a 2-back system? Because both of them were average running backs. If you have a truly elite guy, you don't need a second.
Right. Right. One thing I will say though,
I don't agree with that though.
Openly said basically he wants to win whatever it takes to win. So he's got the attitude to make it work in any way, shape, or form. I still think we are so tight end heavy, but I think Tom is right in some aspect. The simple fact is, having that many tight ends, we are going to need a backup fullback. We did get the guy from Minnesota we were talking about last night. So
we got Janovich, bro. We got Janovich.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Great fullback. But Janovich was different. He was from Denver. Donnie Stanton is from Minnesota.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want.
Kyle, who are those two?
I don't want 2 fullbacks. You barely need 1.
So, Sammy, I don't agree with what you said about great running backs. Remember, Carolina Panthers.
Boy, that's a good point right there. That's a damn good point right there. You got 2 elite players at the same position. You don't have any.
I don't agree with that.
Because there's always a fracture. Because listen, if that were the case, there would be teams spending all their money on that.
So let me talk for seconds here, and then you guys can go forward. Sammy, what you said, two great running backs, you don't see that. DeAngelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. The most recent example I can think of.
They're not elite. First of all, neither one of those guys.
They were so far above average. They weren't elite, but they were hitting that mark.
DeAngelo Williams was flirting with becoming elite. Jonathan Stewart has always, will always, and has always through his whole career was a guy. I
don't agree.
I'll disagree with you there. Cool. He had some banging years in Carolina.
Jonathan Stewart because he was just all about perception. No. Now, Bobby, I want to address what you said. If you have 2 elite players at the same position, then you don't have any. Anquan Boldin, Larry Fitzgerald. Those you had 2 elite players there. There was no not having any in Arizona at that time. Chad Johnson, TJ Houshmandzadeh.
Wide receivers are different though. Elite. Wide receivers are different though, because you have 2 on the field at the same time.
Okay.
You very rarely are going to have 2, unless you're going to run an open back, like a gun set with dual backs the entire game.
Thank you, Pump Boy.
I'll go.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
ran 476 and passed 466. Okay, we need to. I think we do need 2 solid backs. We don't need 2 elite backs.
Just to touch off topic, the thing is. So the real question is, because we were talking about. I mean, what we're getting into is great by all means, but we were talking about getting a linebacker and filling the void for the Browns.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
What is more important?
Darius Smith.
What is more important? Getting a linebacker to give this defense some stability, or keeping 2 running backs. Listen, guys, if we're averaging 35 points a game, but we're giving up 38, what the hell's the point?
I can hear that. Yeah, I mean, I've always been taught offense wins games, defense wins championships. That's just what it is, and I still think that's the same thing. I mean, I'm still a big proponent of bringing in Clay Matthews. I genuinely hope they do.
I would take that too.
I mean, the simple fact is Clay Matthews had a great year last year. What did we say? In 13 games, he had 8 sacks.
Yeah.
8 sacks.
Yeah, I mean, he's not done. He is not done.
And
I take Clay Matthews and Anthony Chickolo.
I
take both of them.
Happy in Denver?
Von Miller is getting Sackmaster tattooed above his pubic area. I don't think he's concerned about Denver or football right now. I think Von Miller's concerned with his brand.
I don't care if he's concerned with his brand, because Von Miller is still elite. Right.
So
he's still elite.
Bobby, sexy position like quarterbacks. The San Francisco 49ers had Joe Montana and Steve Young.
And that's why Joe Montana had to leave. Because they
still had him for years, like 4 years together.
If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. That's where that adage comes from. So you can't have 2, because neither one of those guys are going to want to sit back for the other. And with running backs, a lot of time that falls into place too. So quarterbacks and running backs, you can't have. Running backs, you could probably squeeze.
I want to say something really quick. I've known Bobby Chenault since I was in 5th grade, and I have known him to be a Steelers my entire life. Yes. And Bobby is one of the only Steelers fans I have actually liked in my lifetime. Bobby and I used to hang out in high school. Great dude. I love him. I have never heard Bobby say a Browns player is good. He just said Odell Beckham is elite. Bobby, I love you, dude, and I always have. I love you even more now, bro, because that's a dude who understands football. So you know what? Bobby Chenault, that's a quote that's going in our Hall of Fame, brother.
Tom,
and I hope your red beard is still beautiful, brother.
Tom, your love for OBJ is troubling.
Yes,
I mean, I feel like
it's not troubling.
I mean, this is Joe Buck, Kyle Schwarber-esque. I feel like you and OBJ are gonna walk together into a nursing home and die like at the end of The Notebook.
My first, I wouldn't mind. Actually,
you'd be like on the Titanic going down together.
I sent a Twitter DM to Odell Beckham inviting him to my wedding. I told him the date and the time, and God, if he shows up, I'm gonna lose my mind. I don't even care about Megan on that day. I just care that OBJ is there, man, and I'm gonna hug him, and I'm gonna rub his hair, and I'm gonna say, "I love you, brother," and I want to ride off into the sunset with you.
All right,
and it's not gay. It's just brotherhood, you know?
Man love. Call it what you want, buddy. Call it what you want. So let's hop off that topic real quick because we still got a lot of great stuff to cover. And everyone stay tuned towards the end of the show. We got a pretty awesome topic that we're going to cover that I think everyone's going to be super intrigued with on our points and our opinions on it. So, and like it says on the bottom, don't forget to like, share, and follow us. Give us a thumbs up. Show us some love if you can, if you love the show. 441 Gold is also on the Tube Review.
That helps a lot.
Yeah, if we can get some.
The YouTube subscriptions, it takes like 2 seconds. Hop on there, 440 and Goal. We're the only one out there. Subscribe to our channel. It'll help out a ton. They do a lot. It's a lot easier to work with advertisements and like get verified, if you will, on YouTube than Facebook. So we appreciate everybody for taking the time to watch the show. Any help you guys give, please.
Yeah, love it.
I'll actually throw this out too. The first person to comment on a blog on our website will get a free I don't know ho t-shirt.
Here we go. I don't know ho at 440 and Goal. Thank you, Mom. If you're still watching, you've created a travesty. It's great. Anyways, so next topic up for debate. Going right in. Hopefully it's not blurry. I did change a few things. Boom. The Ohio High School Sports Athletic Association, like we talked about before, guys, we are going to get into some football topics, and a lot of it's going to be related to the local sports around here. And obviously, football is a big sport in the Ohio area in itself, but in Ashtabula County, we do love our football, whether you're a Dragons fan, an Eagles fan, Falcons, Spartans, Heralds, like me and Sammy. So one of the new interesting things, I'm just going to read this aloud real quick, is the play clock will continue to start at 25 seconds prior to a try following a score, to start a period or overtime series, following administration of an inadvertent whistle, following a charge timeout, following an official's timeout, with few exceptions, following the stoppage of a play clock by the referee for any reason. In other cases, so pretty much anything else besides that, there's going to be a 40-second play clock. So it's kind of like NFL rules in some aspect. So what do you guys think about that? How do you think that's going to change the game? Is it going to manage it better? Is it going to give the offense more time to develop plays, put things together? What are you guys thinking about that?
I'm going to start real quick. I'm going to start super quick. Sam, Ryan, you guys played high school football. I did not. I cannot speak on this. So respectfully, I'm going to go in the background for a little bit. I'm going to turn my cam off for like 2 seconds. I'll be right back. I want you guys to take this because respectfully, for the integrity of the show, you guys can speak way better on this than I can. I don't want to seem any more uneducated than I am. So respectfully, hey guys, these guys know way more. So go ahead, guys. I'll be back.
I'm going to take the floor real quick, Sam, before you blatantly interrupt me. So one thing I really like, so one thing I might not be educated enough on, do they have usually the OC can call the play. When I was in high school, went from the OC to the head coach to the quarterback to the whole team. Is it transition now where it is just from the OC to the quarterback or head coach to the quarterback with a headset like in the NFL? I don't believe they have an actual speaker in there to call the plays on the fly like what you would see in the NFL. Do you know that answer, Sammy?
Yeah, so you're talking about, does the OC communicate directly with the head coach?
Oh, no. Does the OC or head coach, whoever's calling the offensive play.
With the quarterback? No.
Right. Okay.
No.
So I'm in love with it. The simple fact is 25 seconds for a quarterback to dead out sprint after a play. As soon as it's over, run over to it would be probably the head coach at that time who's getting the play call from the OC to be able to give him extra 15 seconds to, get a better game plan for the next down, because as you guys all know, play development and how things go throughout a game are just not, everything's not a fresh set of series like you would get on the first, your first go. The first 10 to 15 plays are predetermined. After that, it's on the fly. So being able to make that game adjustment mid-game, give the extra 15 seconds, I think it will do great. I think it's a wonderful thing to let the kids, help develop better. And plus, when you get to college ball, and I would imagine regardless of the level that you're playing at, if you're a quarterback, you're going to have that. You're going to have to deal with the crowd noise. You're going to have to deal with a lot of different things. So having that, I think, will be amazing for him. And just shout out to Sconey. Don't forget to check him out on his podcast. And I'm sorry, I know it's, what is it, Skinny and Sconey, Sam?
Skinny and Sconey Ride Again.
Yeah, Skinny and Sconey Ride Again. Check them out on the podcast. I think you can find them on Apple. What is it? iTunes? iHeartRadio. I'm sorry, Sconey. So, yeah, thanks for joining the show, Scone.
So here's the thing. I think it is good, but it's going to introduce some new problems. And here's where it's going to happen. There are going to be some problems that are going to be good for the game, bad for the game. Good for the game is this is going to actually allow some offensive coordinators and above average coaches to play with the rate of play, the pace, even more. You know what I mean? Because they can slow the game way down, then jump into a no huddle where they're bing, 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 bing. So, where they're bleeding out 40 seconds for a while and then jump in 3 plays off in a row in, a minute.
Right.
So they can play with the rate a little bit. But all that time, the problem that I can see is in high school, there's always a guy, especially at quarterback, who thinks that they know more than the coach.
Okay,
so
I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, where you have you're going to have quarterbacks out there maybe changing the plays.
Right,
we know a little something about that. Changing the plays when they really shouldn't be changing the plays because they think that they're going to read a defense better than the offensive coordinator. Now, coaches are going to lose their mind over that. So that's going to be an individual team problem, and that's where coaches are going to happen. But I can see that becoming an even bigger problem where and good defensive coordinators are going to, stay in a look for as long as they possibly can and wait for those audibles and then switch into the real call. You know what I mean? So that stuff's going to happen. But 40 seconds, I think it needs to be. I think you have to, if high school is supposed to be preparing these quarterbacks, linemen, these football players for college, let's get close to it. And Nick Billman brings up a fantastic point.
Yeah, he does.
They need a shot clock in high school basketball because the fact that Ohio does not have a shot clock, I still remember to this day, Geneva holding the ball for minutes at a time and during a basketball game. Like watching them play because they were not as athletic as Lakeside and couldn't run up and down the court with them. So they literally just would hold the ball for 45 seconds to a minute 15 per possession. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is. Now, one thing, so I think right off the rip is you see the benefit for the offense, but I would also like to say you're going to see a big benefit for the defense too. Being able to get that extra time, get a breath. If you're a defensive lineman and you're going every 25 seconds, I played defensive tackle in high school. And starting off the bat, I ran both ways off the bat. Excuse me. Giving that extra 15 seconds to catch your breath is going to help, develop and move into the next play, but also let the defensive coordinator really kind of scout out what they're running and how they're running and why they're running it, whether it's a pass play or a run play, depending on that situation. But yeah, I will.
Really, what you've done is you're giving good coordinators a tool.
Right.
You're sharpening their tool, because defensive coordinators are going to be able to do a little bit, some more stunts and stuff like that. Offensive coordinators are going to be able to play a lot with the rate of play, with the pace, with that 40 seconds,
right?
Because you can lull a defense to sleep.
Yeah, you can. You sure can. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be a big game changer. I think you're going to see just some different strategies that go into the game. I don't know many high schools that run a no huddle offense. You know what I mean? But I think it's going to help.
Hey, there's a new face, Jay Revis. Jay Revis, how you doing? Jay Revis, really, really outstanding wrestler from this area.
Hey, Jay, thanks for joining the show, buddy. Really appreciate it. If you could help us out and just send us a little like, a little love on the thumbs up button and a heart, maybe, once you get watching the show, if you like it. You don't have to, but really appreciate it. So, but yeah, I think we're going to right now, don't forget, guys, I think we're going to head right into our one and only break that we got for the session. We're right at 1 hour in. You good with that, Sam? Or are you looking like you're different about it?
I thought we were going to hit Punter Grunt before we went to break. That we
okay. Well, we don't have Tom right now, so I was thinking Punter Grunt.
Oh, yeah, we can do it.
Yeah,
no,
so
we can do it.
Let's just, hey, so listen, everybody, don't forget to like, share, or stream. Bring it up. Sorry, Jay Reeves posted 2 hands holding each other. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you in every way, shape, or form. So, like, share, or stream. I am going to go to break with Ray Charles again. I can't help it. That song got me hyped. Sammy, I don't care what you say. You can look at me like I'm stupid if you want, but it is what it is. So we will be back this time, not 2:48, 3 minutes and 34 whole seconds. We'll be back. So listen to little Ray Charles. Wait for us to come back. We got some great topics for the second half of the show. Do not remove yourself from the telly if you're on the tube. Or don't remove yourself from your phone, whatever it is. We'll see you guys here. 3 minutes, 34 seconds.
Oh, beautiful, far heroes prove. In liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, success, be nobleness, and ever again divine. And you know, when I was in school, we used to sing something like this. Listen here. Oh, beautiful, far spacious skies, far amber waves of grain, far purple mountain majesties, over the fruited plain. But now wait a minute, I'm talking about America, sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee. yes. America. I love you, America. You see, my God, he done shed his grace on thee. And you ought to love him for it, because he crowned my good. He told me he would. Every brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, Lord. I thank you, Lord.
And welcome back. Let me get Tom on the stream. Great news. Jay Rivas, David Rivas knows you. How wonderful is that?
Jay Rivas.
Jay Rivas is large and in charge and on the show, brother.
Jay Rivas. Oh my God. Oh. I remember his relative Frankie. Frankie was a cool dude. I heard a lot of cool stuff about Jay. I never got to meet him, but
oh no, Jay was my age. Yeah, Jay was cool as a cucumber and a damn good wrestler.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that, but
yeah, lightweight cat, but could get it on the mat, man.
Yeah, he DDT'd me once. It was no big deal. All right, real quick. So usually before our break, we do a business of the day. But Tom, thanks to you, you weren't here, so we are going to do it right afterwards. Got to bus roll somebody. It is what it is. So I'm going to let Sammy quickly talk about it. This is the best images that I could come up with. So I do excuse them, but it is. The business of the day is State Road Power Sports. They are located over off State Road in Ashtabula, Ohio. Sam, let it ride. I'll get a number and phone stuff up here in 1 second.
Yeah, so State Road Power Sports, it's a they sell dirt bikes, ATVs, all that off-road stuff. And the owner is a good friend of mine. It's a guy named Brandon Nelson.
Sorry, didn't realize that was
they also do small engine repair. So small engine and ATV repair they do through in his shop. A store. This is a store that he started from the ground up himself. When you shop at a store, particularly something like this, I think you want to make sure that the owner has a passion for it, because that's what's going to let you know that you're in good hands, because he's going to push out products that he himself is going to want to take out and mud and have fun with. So this is something I know that he's had a passion for as long as I've known him. The dude is always out mudding, has a really, really expansive knowledge on, four-wheelers, ATVs, Kubotas, all that stuff. I don't really know a whole bunch about it. I just know he leaves with a clean one and comes back with a dirty one. Looks like he has the time of his life. So if you, it looks like something that's fun. I've thought about it myself, but if you are into it already, go check out State Road Power Sports, located right on State Road down by Skufka's, where that used to be.
So they're located 3130 State Road. It looks like Unit B is what I'm going to assume over there in Ashtabula, Ohio.
Yeah, the sign is actually really big, so you're going to be able to see it. And like I said, it's something for myself personally, when I'm going to buy an item like that, I want to know that the person who is running it or is selling it to me knows what they're talking about. And 100. Brandon knows what he's talking about, because, this is his passion. This is what he does. The guy lives a couple houses down from me, so I've seen him bring all these things around, testing him out himself. So go check him out. Oh, also, like I said, engine repairs and stuff like that sometimes can get tricky. They do that right there too. So small business owner, that's another thing. Small business owner, right here, local guy. Take care of local, because this is the type of guy this is the type of guy that's going to, sponsor little league teams, not Walmart.
Right. So his phone number, his contact information is 440 536-4906. It does show I am on his Facebook page right now. It does show open at 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. I think it's every day. Let me just check something. Yeah, every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., closed on the weekend. Check him out. He's got an email, State Road Power Sports at yahoo.com, so you can message him on there. Sorry, Tom, go ahead.
So I have a question. Could 440 and goal, you, Ryan, you, me, and Sam go get some of these like that right there? Could we go get some emblazoned with 440 and goal? And could I request him to have it so whenever I start it, Don Omar or Daddy Yankee plays immediately at full blast when I start it up? Do you think he'd do that for me, Sammy?
Listen, sure if anybody could do it, State Road Power Sports is going to be able to.
Listen, I'm going to hit him up, and I'm being 100% serious. Hopefully he has some good financing options because I need to kind of expand my credit portfolio. But
here we
tell
go.
you right now, hey, man, listen, I got that 840 credit score. I got to get that up to like an 880. But listen, all I'm saying is, if you're listening, my guy, if you can get us some 440 and goal, stuff like that, and you can make it so Gasolina or any Don Omar song plays when I turn it on, I'm buying it tomorrow.
All right,
and I'm riding it everywhere,
yeah.
Even to work.
Check out State Road Power Sports over there on State Road. Like we said, he's got a Facebook page. Check him out. So we're going to tap right into one of my favorite sections. One of my favorite segments that we usually do. We haven't done it in a minute, but I'm pumped about it. Let me hit the button. Here we go. Little punt or grunt, baby, coming in hot. So back into a little bit of football. A little bit of high school football. So some of the news that we read. I don't know if anyone listens to the specific radio station. I don't know if I could say them, but we did listen quite a bit.
Man, it's national. Right. You're good.
That's fine. But the Ohio High School, I think it was a board director or something of that, came on and said that there is a 50-50 chance for high school football this fall coming up. So is it a punt or grunt? Do you guys think that we will have high school football in less than 4 months?
First of all, Danny, I'm wearing foil, not sequins, but I will wear sequins. Yeah, I'll go first. So I'm gonna grunt that football is gonna happen. Only because I think people are going, there's too much money to be lost for football not to happen. But I'm going to grunt with the notion that it's not going to be a football season like we know. You are going to have schools that don't put together football teams, because don't forget the opening and the reopening procedures. The opening and reopening procedures are going to fall upon the school districts themselves in cases. What after school sports and stuff are going to be allowed. So if just because the state doesn't close it down, the school system itself, depending on an infection rate and stuff like that, could withhold after school activities. That, and here's my big thing, and this is a question that nobody seems to want to answer because I've asked a whole bunch of people and it gets sidestepped. What happens when a player tests positive for COVID? What happens when a player's parent tests positive for COVID? Does the whole team then have to be on a 14-day? Do they forfeit? Do they forfeit games? What's going to happen with that? That stuff is still very unclear right now. So I'm grunting, but it's going to be very, very different. And I don't know first of all, I don't know if you're going to be able to go watch it. So that's another thing too. Kids going to have to go play in empty stadiums.
Oh, 100%. I'm gonna grunt with the caveat that it's gonna happen. High school football is happen.
Right, turn the damn volume off.
Or it's going to happen for select schools. I feel like schools like Glenville, schools like Warren Harding, St. Ed, St. Ignatius, Dublin Kaufman down in Cincinnati. Those guys, I feel, will have high school football because of the athletes that are coming out of there. So think about this. In 2007, Dublin Kaufman had two guys. They had Jake Stoneburner and Mike Adams, who were very highly touted recruits, and they were headed to Ohio State. If COVID-19 hit then, I don't think guys like Stoneburner and Adams would have headed to Ohio State. Okay, even go back further, like I think maybe like 02 or 03, or Dublin Kaufman's Columbus. Sorry about that, Danny. Guys like Teddy Ginn and Troy Smith, guys that want to get out of that area, needed football to parlay that into getting out and success. Area like Lakeside, Conneaut, St. John, Geneva, Edgewood. I'm sorry, but football isn't at the forefront of the collective consciousness of the area. Realistically, we're not having a kid from Lakeside go to Ohio State to be a receiver. Okay, I think that
Harvey just sent a guy.
Yeah, so Harvey did, but that's a different. I think that's a different conference. So what I'm saying is an area like Ashtabula, and Harvey's also
Lakeside and Harvey are cousins. They're the same school, the same.
But also Harvey's in a more affluent area. Okay.
Lakeside
and
no
Harvey?
No.
I think that's a little bit more of an affluent area. No, I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I think you have it confused with Riverside.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of the black and gold team. I'm thinking of Riverside. Yeah, you're right.
Painesville Harvey is Ashtabula of Lake County.
So what I'm getting at though is realistically, Lakeside doesn't have Jimmy Johnson, who is going to be a star quarterback for Clemson. Okay. But realistically, Glenville has, John Smith, who's a receiver who needs to parlay his senior season into getting an offer at Ohio State or Cincinnati, somewhere like that. I think that you're going to see schools like Glenville, Warren Harding, Dublin Kaufman, those guys have seasons. But I think it's going to be more hesitant for like Lakeside, St. John, those kind of guys. And again, I could be wrong. It's just an opinion, kind of where I'm coming from.
But I understand what you're saying, but here's kind of the reality of that. And I only know this through talking to guys like Elijah Wan Cooper, Terry Henton.
Yeah. Absolutely.
These guys. So
yeah.
None of those guys are relying on senior year to get to Ohio State. Most of that stuff is set in stone going into senior year. The juniors, if they don't play this year, the juniors are going to be are going to have the worst time with it because they are going to be reliant on it.
That's kind of what I was getting at.
You cannot have a season if 75% of the teams are playing.
Right.
The logistics of it is a nightmare because you're going to have somebody like, Menor. Okay, Menor is a great example. So Menor plays all these area teams around here. So if the teams that don't have NCAA Division I players don't field a team, Menor is losing 3 games. Not losing, but not getting to play 3 games. So if Menor wins 7 games, they go 7-0. What seed are they? Where do they belong in the playoffs? Do the playoffs even happen? So it's gonna have to be it's gonna have to be across the board. I do think small schools like St. John are gonna have to really, really think hard if there's gonna be a team, which sucks. Because I was really looking forward to Harold football this year.
Yes. Yeah. So Tom, are you punting or grunting? I don't know if I caught that.
So I'm grunting with the caveat of different areas, I guess I should say.
Okay.
Like kind of quantify that. And hey, listen, My internet, I don't know if you guys can see me too well. I need to go reset my router. Something's going on. I will return in 2 minutes. I do apologize. Give me 1 moment.
What was that show called? The Love Connection? 2 and 2.
2 and 2. All right, give me 1 moment. I will be right back. I do apologize for the absence from the camera tonight. Give me 1 moment. It's been internet issues.
All right, buddy. We'll see you in a little bit. So yeah, me on my end of the spectrum, I'm gonna grunt. I think we are gonna have football. I think it's gonna be the state of Ohio is one of the biggest high school football states in the nation. I think it's like Texas, California, Florida, Ohio. They're all, I don't know how it's ranked 1 through 4, but it's all there. I don't think you're going to see it go away. I think you're going to be limited on fans. And maybe it's just, parents, aunts and uncles, that kind of thing. You're not going to be able to just let every kid into the stadium. So with that being said, I am going to grunt. I'm going to run with it. I think
we're going to ask you the same question then that nobody else wants to answer.
Right.
So, because you know what it's like in football.
Shut down. I'm going to just answer now. It's just going to shut the whole team down, and that is what it is. They'll have to forfeit the season, I'm guessing.
You know what I mean?
Like, yeah. I mean, it's going to be tough. No matter which way you look at it. Like right now, I know high school football versus Little League baseball is they are planning on having a Little League baseball season.
Yep.
That's what it is. The 26th. So in 3 days, we're supposed to get more information. That's when non-contact sports will be allowed to resume. I don't know how it's going to affect with, parents. I coach my son's T-ball, this year will be a coach pitch team. I don't know how it's going to affect it. I know even me and my wife personally are still kind of up in the air about it. We're not sure exactly what we're going to do. The simple fact is, putting kids together, even at the age of 16, 17 years old, telling them, hey, you can't be within 6 feet. I was an offensive lineman. Like, our goal was to be heel to toe, man. Like, I mean, that's it,
People are acting like this has never happened before, but I was just thinking about this today, and I can remember one time very distinctly during sports, and this is why I bring this up, where it wasn't COVID-19, but meningitis. I remember a child lost his life to meningitis when we were, I want to say, in 3rd or 4th grade. And Chestnut.
It's a great question, Danny. It is. It really is a great question. How do you teach children?
Who had just played State Road in a basketball game, had to close for 3 days because they had to have a deep cleaning of the gym and everything for meningitis.
Right.
So that was something that's super rare. So with COVID being so prevalent now, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, I think like everything so far with COVID and I mean, across the board, it's been on the fly. You just kind of work with it in some way, shape, or form. I don't think there is a true right or wrong to any of it just yet. I don't. You know what I mean? I know.
Looking at Danny talking right now brings up a great point. Another great question of mine. How can you have wrestlers wrestle each other
right
at this time?
Yeah. I mean, how? I mean, right.
You know what I mean?
That was something that was necessary. What were to go to? How would it go that way? I don't know how that's going to work. It's going to be interesting. I know that. I mean, we're going to find out. Baseball and these non-contact sports are going to dictate a lot of how high school football goes or wrestling goes. Just to see where it takes it to. And
one single outbreak is all.
Yeah. Danny Reed is 130% right for the second time we've seen the word "ho" on our show.
Listen, it's going to take one single outbreak of COVID during for baseball or any of these other non-contacts, and they're going to cancel everything in the fall.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't know what is going to happen with baseball. Even me and my wife are still leery. That's a conversation we're having. We'll see where it takes us to. So, but let's grab into the next punt or grunt while we wait for Tom to come back, because I think we can handle it every way, shape, or form. So back into a little bit more high school football action. OHSAA playoff is going to be, and this is in 2021, correct, Sammy?
2021, next year.
Yeah, so
look at that, clear as a bell.
Coming in
hot. And you know it.
So playoff expansion.
I was on my neighbor's internet for some reason. It was weird.
Yeah. Your neighbor's name is McDonald?
Yep. And
no, my neighbor's internet connection is named COVID-19 5G Wi-Fi tower.
Perfect. Just a great neighbor.
Strange.
Mine is named Shroot Farms. So
yeah. So we're on the next punter grunt, Tom. OHSAA playoff expansion from 8 teams to 12. So it's a punter grunt. What do you guys think about that? Now, what did we determine? We found out from the reading. It's based through the region.
So each region is going to go from 8 teams to 12 teams. It's going to bring the total teams in the playoffs from 280 to 330.
Okay, so quite the jump up.
It's ridiculous.
I'll let yeah, right. I mean, I'll go first real quick because I really don't have a lot to say. I love anytime that there's an opportunity for kind of the underdog to get in, give them that chance to climb that ladder. Because obviously in the playoffs, it's not a round robin here. You got to win out to win it all. So if you can bring an underdog in, bring them in, let them do their thing. I know what Sammy's going to say, so I'm not going to steal his thunder because I know where he's going with it. So I'm going to let him talk about it. But I am a total grunt on that. I love it. So go ahead, Sam.
So I think I have to punt. And the reason why I have to punt, which is not like me, only because sorry guys, I'm trying to pull up these comments. So it's not like me because anybody who knows me knows that I have been vying for a playoff expansion in college because I
just haven't heard this name yet. Kip Martin looks like a new viewer.
Welcome to the show, Kip.
Yeah, Kip. Sorry, I don't know if anyone knows him, but Kip, thank you for joining the show.
Kip is the service advisor at the dealership I work at, and you want to talk about a dude who can talk about soccer all day? If we ever do a soccer-heavy show, I want Kip Martin and his Krillin from Dragon Ball Z bald head to be in here. And if any of you got that reference, you're getting a Tom Loves OBJ shirt for free, courtesy of me. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Okay, sorry. I sold my car today.
All right, so I'm gonna answer Danny's question too. So Danny, the 12 teams, the way it's gonna go is the top 4 seeds in each region get an automatic bye, which already is ridiculous because the 4th seeded team does not deserve a bye. Period. But what I was saying is I think that college football needs to have 8 teams, but in this case, I think 12 is too many. So what you're going to have is you're going to have teams with 5 wins getting into the playoffs, particularly for schools like St. John, okay? Because in Division 6, all you have to do is beat a Division 3 or 4, and there are already teams getting into the playoffs with 3 and 4 wins on the year. Okay? So what you're setting up for is somebody like Lakeside having a decent year beating local teams, getting their face knocked off by Solon or, Menor or, these teams that they shouldn't even be on the same field with.
I mean, even like Steubenville, wouldn't they play Steubenville?
No, Steubenville.
They play like Steubenville.
It would still be within your division. It was still, if you were a D6 school, it would be D6 playoffs. But
and again, I can't speak that well with it.
Yeah, what I'm saying, and the division is only, it's only just because of the kids. You could be a football factory school in Ohio because St. John went up against some buzzsaws where I thought they were good, and then they went, and played teams and lost by 70. To D6 schools, you know what I mean? Kirtland is a perfect example. Kirtland would beat any team in this area. Kirtland has less students than anybody here.
Right.
So this is a punter grunt. I'm gonna grunt on this, especially because of guys like Sammy, like you mentioned, like teams hanging 70 on a lesser school, let's say. Those kids that might not have been getting much exposure come in and they play in the playoffs. And we always talk about you cut your teeth in big games when you can show up, right? So So Baker Mayfield doesn't necessarily show up in a big game, and we knock him for it, right? But let's say a guy like so let's go back to Lakeside when we were playing, or when you guys were playing, or when I was in high school. A guy like David Kriz. I remember David Kriz. He was a good friend of mine. He was really good, but he wasn't necessarily getting like those offers. Let's say David goes to the playoffs and has a couple good games, right? So this expansion could do wonders for the kids that maybe flew under the radar a little bit during the season, and then they show up in these big playoff games. David hangs 7 receptions for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns on a team like Menor. All of a sudden, David might not be just getting recruited by like the New Mexico Lobos. He might start getting recruited by like the Northern Illinois Huskies. You know what I'm saying? Like an elite max school, let's say. And that's not like the whole reason, but what I'm saying is maybe that kind of parlays a little bit of success.
What I'm telling you is that is so far-fetched to potentially happen. And here's what actually happened.
Again, though, but what I'm saying is I'm not as well versed in high school football playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. So
stuff like that. So I don't mean to sound ignorant when I say that.
No. So what typically happens there, okay? And so I'll relate it to an exact story, okay?
Okay, cool.
We had an elite running back on our team for our playoff team, in Josh Cooper. Josh Cooper is is probably the best running back I've ever seen, ever been, played on the same team as. Obviously there were better guys before him. But Josh Cooper and Jamaro Spikes are neck and neck with best running backs of Lakeside. Yeah, they're neck and neck for definitely best at Lakeside. When we went up against Menor, he is a transcendent athlete, no matter what. We couldn't do anything.
Right.
So hey, can I ask you a question? Sammy?
Yeah.
Where would you rank one running back in the echelon of high school running backs at Lakeside? I'm going to throw his name out, and I want to know your opinion. Mitchell Withrow.
I mean, he's got about
and
the same
infamous rap. His infamous rap.
He's got about the same stats as I do. So it's just like right now, my running backs in Lakeside history are Josh,
Spikes,
Jamaro, and probably Darrell McCaleb.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Darrell. He
Darrell
was my younger brother. Yeah, Darrell. He was a younger brother's time.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so what I was getting at by that is you're going to have teams, they're going to go out there, just get the snot beat out of them. Like it's terrible.
Right. I get it. Yeah. And I see where you're going with that. Cause
if you're in fourth place in your division, do you really deserve a bye?
I get it. Well, so Danny, you do bring up a good point. Yeah. So Jared Bunch obviously was a great running back, but we're talking about people. Ashtabula and people that we may have known. So, but and yes, I seen the gruesome broken leg of Mitch Withrow as well.
One of 2 times I've ever vomited on a football field.
Yep. All right. Next topic is scrolling down there on the bottom of the screen below Tom. Tua Tagovailoa. I think I said that right. I don't know, but is he a franchise quarterback? Whatever. What is he a franchise quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes?
Go ahead, Tom. I'm going to let you jump on this.
Ooh.
Neither one of them caught it. I love it. Neither one of them. That's how much they're paying attention.
No, I got it right. I'm just not going to acknowledge it.
You should have. So the Miami Dolphins, Sam. Come on. So is he? When we're saying franchise, like 3 years or greater, is that correct, guys?
Yeah. Is he going to be your guy? Yeah. Is he going to be your guy?
The most gruesome injury I ever saw in a game, by the way, Nicky Pashano, his senior year. Kid, damn, that sucks. Anyway, Tua Tagovailoa, I am going to punt the ever-living hell out of that. I am going to Pat McAfee it down the field to the 1 yard line when I punted for my own 20. Tua was great at Alabama, but you know who else was great at Alabama? A.J. McCarron. Greg McElroy. Those guys put up similar stats to
John Parker Wilson.
John Parker Wilson. Freddie Kitchens was good at Alabama, and they all had lesser receivers. Tua has had Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs. He has had transcendent. He's also had great running backs. He also had one of the best offensive lines in college football in the past 5 years. Not the best, but one of the best. So all I'm saying is Tua has the tools. Tua definitely has the tools. But the thing about Tua is that Tua, in my opinion, is hampered by that gruesome hip injury.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to go in and have a coach like Saban who absolutely is a mind that could help him, parlay his talents or his weaknesses into a success. Tua needs to figure it out now. Saban held his hand. Make no mistake. Saban held his hand that whole way by gifting him receivers, linemen, because Saban can bring in guys every year that are prolific at their position every year and replace who they lost. That's not going to happen in Miami, man. The fact of the matter is Miami spent an inordinate amount of money on defense, and they still only really have Devontae Adams at a wide receiver right now and maybe Albert Wilson. Tua, while he is very good, Tua isn't being handed the tools to be successful, and the moment Tua faces adversity, Tua crumbles. I am going to go back, and this might not be a popular opinion. You guys might disagree with me, but so here's the thing. Sammy, Ryan, when you became an 18-year-old and you started to make your own way in the world, you had your father, you had your father or a father figure with you that could help you, and you respected him, and he helped you. He coached you become who you are today in a sense. Tua's father is so overbearing and so he's like a quieter LeVar Ball. Tua is so afraid of his father that makes me nervous about how he's going to react to another authority figure in his life, like Brian Flores, who essentially becomes the role model, the male figure in his life that's going to help lead him to success. I feel that Tua has an immaturity about him because he's not willing to become his own man. That's going to be a detriment to him going down the line. Because look at a guy like Baker Mayfield. And I know it's not popular, but Baker Mayfield is his own man. Baker might make mistakes, but Baker goes out there and doesn't care. Tua made a mistake, and he was so upset about it that it was like, dude, you're a baby still, man. Like be a man. You play for Alabama. You're an elite you're an elite quarterback, man. Like, own your mistakes. Own who you are. Don't let other people dictate who you are. Appreciate that comment,
buddy. Yeah, really do appreciate it. Sammy, what's your take, buddy? Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ryan, that I didn't run in your time, but I had to.
We got a lot of stuff to go through, man. That's all.
I'm sorry, Ryan.
Well, it is what it is. It's your fault, not mine. Sammy, your turn.
You're a dick.
Listen,
yes, I know.
Go drink a twisted tea.
It's really, really easy. I'm punting on Tua, period. Ridiculously gruesome injury on the hip. I didn't trust him without the hip injury, so I'm damn sure not going to trust him with the hip injury. The Miami Dolphins organization is also a dumpster fire. So yeah, that's a big punt, period. See ya.
All right,
I would rather have Ryan Fitzpatrick be the quarterback than Tua Tagovailoa.
Right. I'm going to punt hard just because of the injuries on it. I don't think he's going to be – I think he's going to be 3 years and done. Something's going to happen. He's going to have issues, whatever it may be. So, hard punt for me. So, moving right into the next one.
One more thing. I'm sorry. That wasn't the only injury Tua had. Tua was injured multiple times in his college career, and that was behind a dominant offensive line. If he can't hold it together with the dominant offensive line, what's he going to do with an average to below average offensive line? Because remember, they don't have Laramie Tunsil anymore.
Right.
How about this? A hip injury took out Bo Jackson, and Tua's not tougher than Bo Jackson. Next topic.
Perfect. Dak turns down
tougher than Odell Beckham.
$40 million a year and is yet to sign franchise tender. Holdout coming? What do you guys think?
I actually do think that a holdout is going to come. I think it's stupid for him to be a holdout candidate because he is okay. Like he's not great. He's just he's an okay quarterback with a lot of tools around him. He's Baker Mayfield and maybe not even as good as Baker. So for him to hold out of 40 million, like I don't know how much he thinks he's worth, but I would say he's at least $10 million to $20 million a year worth less than Pat Mahomes.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
I'll go there.
I'm gonna grunt on a holdout is coming because Dak Prescott.
Russell Wilson is trash BP.
Dak Prescott is not a good quarterback. Dak Prescott has one of the best offensive lines. He has one of the top 3 running backs in the NFL, and he has Amari Cooper, and he can't win with that. And this guy has the balls to come out there and demand a $45 million deal. What precedent does that set for the market? So if Jerry Jones caves, and like he did with Zeke, and says, "Hey, Dak, what you are worth that $45 million, we're going to give it to you, brother." What does that do for the quarterback market in the future? So you're telling me Dak Prescott's worth $45 million. I am damn sure that if Dak Prescott's worth $45 million, Patty Mahomes is worth $65 to $70 million a year. Lamar Jackson is worth $60 to $70 million a year if Dak has the balls to set that type of market. Baker Mayfield can get that type of.
If Dak is worth $45 million a year, Tom Brady's worth $150.
But 142%.
Where Brendan's been this whole time. Has he been like trolling and just watching the show and not saying anything? Usually he's got stuff the entire show. He just popped out of nowhere.
He just started watching.
Did he?
Brendan is the Lil Wayne line. He's a G moving in silence like lasagna.
So yeah, I'm gonna agree with. I mean, I don't see why he's holding out at this point in time. I don't see.
There's no reason.
Sign the franchise tender, get paid. I get that he's trying to make as much money as he can because in the league you just have to. That's just what it is. Get it while you can get it because it's going to be gone one day. But I mean, $40 million a year. I don't know how much of it was guaranteed. I guess maybe that was a hurdle, but
110 was guaranteed. It was going to match Goff's guarantee of 110 million.
He's better than Goff, though.
Bold statement, Cotton.
Yeah,
Goff got to a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Dak can't get out of the second round of the playoffs.
Goff got to a Super Bowl because he's got a phenomenal coach. So I'm actually going to use this to segue into our next segment.
Yep.
I can't wait.
If, like I said, well, the one thing we didn't talk about, and I guess we'll touch on that really quickly, is so if he gets this mega contract or whatever, I think you are going to have to start talking about salary caps, maybe for just quarterbacks, because I mean, $100 million, you're going to have $100 million quarterback at some point.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, but right. Are we going to?
If Dak does hold out, there's a really, really good quarterback that's sitting out there right now. And I know that they signed Dalton, but Dalton should be thought of as a backup. If I'm Jerry Jones with that team, I'm bringing in Cam Newton. Because guess what? You bring in Cam Newton, you can win right now.
Yeah. So that's part of our next segment. But I like what you're saying, Sammy. A QB specific salary cap would reflect the monetary value of the position without obliterating a team's flexibility the coming years. It would make it so if you have an elite quarterback, you can still go out and sign players. It's a detriment right now. If you have an elite quarterback, you're almost punished because of the market being set. Okay, so let's say Dak sets a $45 million a year contract, right? So Patty Mahomes gets $70 million. How is Patty Mahomes going to sustain success with his team if his team can't go out and sign players to put around him? Yeah, Patty Mahomes is transcendent, but the fact of the matter is, you got Tyreek Hill on your team too, brother. Tyreek Hill has a massive contract. You're going to need to get a running back at some point, and I know damn well that that ownership group isn't going to settle for plugging in running backs every year. They're going to want continuity at the position. So the fact of the matter is like if you create a separate salary cap, it benefits the NFL teams because now you can focus on signing a quarterback under a cap that they set and then parlay that into other aspects of your team by not having to worry about what you're putting into your quarterback. I think that it'd be a big win for the league. It'd absolutely be a win, and I think it's definitely something that should be addressed. Like, I know that Jeremy Fowler's brought that up from ESPN, and I think it's a really, really good idea, man.
I'll tell you what, Nick. What's it say about Cam Newton when Dalton and Flacco both got signed before him? They both got signed understanding they're going to be backups. But it is absolutely ridiculous that those two got signed before him. Cam Newton is still better than 15 quarterbacks, probably better than 18 quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
I agree.
So let's hit this real quick. So I wanted to bring up the depth chart, but I don't know how that one's going to work out. But I think we have enough knowledge with everyone here. So the Falcons have obviously Matt Ryan. Better or worse?
Ryan's better than him for that system.
Tom?
Matty Ice is better.
Okay, then you got the Minnesota Vikings.
That's Kirk Cousins. He's better than Kirk Cousins, but they're paying him too much, so he's not going there.
Right, but they could still make room if they needed to get. I mean, I get the real question is why hasn't Cam been signed yet? Right, that's what we're really talking about.
Too much money.
Right. So
he wants money.
My big question is this team here, who just lost the probably greatest quarterback ever in the NFL, the New England Patriots, and their depth chart is. I'm going to bring that one up just because.
Jarrett Stidham, Brian Hoyer, and 2 undrafted free agents.
It's a match made in heaven. He should have been signed there a long time ago.
Yeah, he should have. Cam Newton.
Yeah,
Cam Newton would have success in New England. He absolutely would. They have a good offensive line. They have a rotation of running backs, and they have receivers that play very specific roles.
Tampa Bay is in the AFC, right?
Tampa Bay is in the NFC. They're in the NFC South.
They're in NFC South. So can you imagine a New England Tampa Bay Super Bowl? Brady versus Belichick? Man, NFL be all over that.
Yeah,
now, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. Teddy Bridgewater is not better than Cam Newton, and that's an abomination that Teddy Bridgewater is the starting quarterback and Cam Newton is not still on that.
Teddy Bridgewater, a lot of similar traits.
No, Teddy Bridgewater
have a lot of similar traits.
He's younger. Teddy Bridgewater is a good quarterback, and he sat behind a great quarterback in Breeze. Teddy Bridgewater could be very successful there. I've been pulling for Teddy Bridgewater for a while now.
How does Nick Foles make it to Chicago before Cam Newton?
Absolutely ridiculous. First of all, Chicago should sign Cam Newton yesterday. Like, if they're not,
I'm not going to disagree.
If Mitch Trubisky's not their guy, and I like Mitch Trubisky, I'm still holding hope for him to be a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. But if that's not your guy, like, you've got it. Chicago has a team that can win right now.
Right.
So can Denver.
How does Drew Lock the starting and Jeff Driscoll the backup?
Cam Newton is better.
There is no reason Cam Newton should not be on the Denver Broncos, especially with Melvin Gordon, and especially with the receivers that they have, and especially with Noah Fant and Nick Vanette and Jeff Herman
and
as their tight ends. And they have Cortland Sutton, Deshaun Hamilton, and Jerry Jeudy. There is no reason Cam Newton couldn't go in there and compete immediately in Denver, because that system that Denver has is very reminiscent of that Carolina Panthers team that Newton took to the Super Bowl.
So in Detroit, you got Matt Stafford, Chase Daniels, and David Blau. Was it Blau?
David Blau. And honestly, he's better than Matt Stafford, but Matt Stafford's not going anywhere.
Right.
Cam Newton in no way, shape, or form is better than Matthew Stafford.
He is.
Matthew Stafford, for all the crap, I want to say a different word, all the crap that Matthew Stafford takes, Matthew Stafford has done so much with so little, it is disgusting. Matthew Stafford
had one of the best wide receivers to ever play football in the history of football in Calvin Johnson, and guess what? They still couldn't win.
If Matthew Stafford was on the New England Patriots right now, the New England Patriots would be 12-4.
If he was on the New England Patriots right now, he would have been traded away because Matthew Stafford is Matt Castle.
Matthew Stafford has had deplorable coaches his entire career.
He had Calvin Johnson and still couldn't win with them.
Baker Mayfield had Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, and Nick Chubb and couldn't win with them. And it was
I don't give a shit. I'm not saying Baker. I'm not a Baker guy, so that's not going to help your point.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. So is Cam better than Carson Wentz or Nate Sudfeld?
Carson Wentz is questionable. He's definitely better than Sudfeld, obviously.
He's better than Carson Wentz.
If Wentz gets hurt again, I don't know what the hell they're going to do with him.
So
if Wentz gets hurt again, Carson Wentz needs to be on the first ambulance out of Philadelphia, and Cam Newton needs to be in there because Cam Newton is 5 times the quarterback that Carson Wentz is and ever will be.
All right, then you go to Cleveland. Is Cam Newton better than Baker or Case Keenum?
Yes.
He is.
Yes to all of them.
100%.
Yep. Yeah. So would you right now, if you had the opportunity to get Cam Newton, would you take him?
No. Not with the way this team's made up. Cam Newton's personality would not fit with Odell, and it damn sure wouldn't fit with Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is a no-nonsense human being. Nick Chubb does his job, and he walks away. Nick Chubb would not put up with a flamboyant Tom Ford sponsored quarterback who's all about himself. Nick Chubb
you mean a quarterback that takes all kinds of advertisements and is all about me? He already does that.
Stop it, Sammy. No. Baker Mayfield might not be the best quarterback, but you know damn well that Baker Mayfield goes out there and owns every mistake he's ever made, and Baker Mayfield doesn't get down on himself. Cam Newton is a
You're out of your mind,
baby.
You're absolutely.
I'm not out of my mind.
I'm
not out of my mind.
Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans doesn't own up.
Not better than Ryan Tannehill. He is not better than Ryan Tannehill.
Cam Newton better than Tannehill?
Tannehill is an interesting concept because I know everybody is still in love with him from last year, but don't forget Ryan Tannehill was a turd in Miami, an absolute turd.
Ryan Tannehill also didn't have a great running back. He didn't have a good coach. He didn't have a good offensive line, and he didn't have a good defense.
Okay.
All right, moving into
the Tennessee,
Jets.
He got all of that.
The Jets. Does he replace Sam Darnold?
He's and why does Sam Darnold? But they're not.
Sam Darnold can't even hold Cam Newton's sweaty socks.
Let's see. No. So Tampa's out, Dallas is out, Indy's out. So Indy with Phillip Rivers.
I think Cam's better than him, but that's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other.
I would take either or. All right, then it's kind of a split.
Tyrod Taylor. This is the one that makes no sense.
He's better than everybody on that team.
Right. Why is Cam Newton not starting for the Chargers right now? Obviously,
that's where he should be, honestly.
Cam Newton,
Chargers.
Yep. Cam Newton is not starting for the Chargers because the Chargers ownership is so in love with Justin Herbert that they want him to start immediately, and they want Tyrod Taylor to be the bridge quarterback. Do not want to bring Cam Newton in to mess with the development of Justin Herbert.
Obviously,
I will put my money on that.
No one's better than Patty Mahomes right now.
I will give you that, Tom, because guess what? I'm going to agree with you for the first time in this segment.
Yep.
Cam Newton is not a guy you're bringing in to develop another quarterback because Cam Newton is still trying to get his shine.
Yep.
So wherever he goes, Cam Newton better be the man.
KC, obviously, he's not better than Patty Mahomes. That's just a no-brainer.
He's better than Patty Mahomes.
Pittsburgh, though, that is interesting. Not for this year. Not for this year. Or
I would put Cam Newton in Pittsburgh.
Mark this down. Mark this down right now. If Big Ben goes out and gets hurt again this year, something crazy like that happens, they sign Cam Newton.
Yeah, I can see that.
And not only do they sign Cam Newton, it becomes an absolute problem because Mike Tomlin will bring out every aspect of Cam Newton that is good.
Listen,
what you will about the Steelers, but Mike Tomlin is a prolific coach.
If Cam Newton plays on the Steelers, the Browns have the third best quarterback in the division again, and maybe the fourth.
Right, maybe the fourth. Yeah. So obviously, Tua is kind of a don't know yet, but I guess you could look at it as
we do know Cam Newton is better than Tua Tagovailoa is or ever will be.
Absolutely.
Tua Tagovailoa would call
Arizona with what's his name?
Kyle
Arizona.
Murray.
Yeah, Kyle Murray.
They're sticking with Kyle.
Houston Texans, obviously no.
No.
Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, negative. No. This
Absolutely
is the one that we.
Not.
Yes, this is the one we talked about. The Raiders. I think he would be a perfect fit in Oakland.
That's
really do.
Because, well, you know, John Gruden hates Derek Carr for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, that would be an interesting fit.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. John Gruden is also like a co-general manager or has a lot of say. John Gruden was very involved in bringing in Marcus Mariota. There's a reason he didn't bring in Cam Newton. John Gruden is in love with Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he's there. Cam Newton has no shot to go to Oakland. And it's very unfortunate because Cam Newton is better, but Mariota, for some reason, something.
All right, the Seattle.
I don't understand why anybody believed in Mariota to begin with.
Because he ran a great offense at Oregon.
Good point, David. But Seattle Seahawks, better than Russell Wilson.
No.
Yes.
Just because I want to be a troll so hard right now.
Just so because I want to be a troll. No, he's not better than Russell Wilson.
No, he's not better than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson isn't that great, but Cam Newton is not better than him.
I hate you. The Rams.
I think he's better than Goff.
Does he elevate the Rams though?
Is he?
No.
Should he? Would he make them better? Yes.
Okay.
So here's the thing though. Cam Newton thrives when there's a good run game. The Rams do not have a good run game, and they don't have very good receivers. Cam Newton needs tools around him, and while he has a lot of physical talents, there is no one there to help bail Cam Newton out.
David Reeves has been agreeing with me all night.
Yes. Okay, and last two. So Jacksonville.
He's better than everybody on the team now, last year, and everybody who's going to be on the team next year.
Yep.
Cam Newton is a better quarterback in 1995 than their quarterback was back then. And Cam Newton was probably like not even a twinkle in his daddy's eye at that point.
Cam Newton is a better quarterback when he was stealing computers at the University of Florida than anybody on that team right now.
And then my favorite, Kaepernick 2.0.
Stop.
Are you talking about Garoppolo?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's way better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Way better.
First of all, he's not better than Jimmy G. And I'm going to tell you right now, Cam Newton isn't half the quarterback Colin Kaepernick was. Colin Kaepernick might be one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. I love Colin Kaepernick.
I know, but sometimes, Tom, sometimes you have to take off the hipster beanie for a minute. And
I don't have a hipster beanie. I have a man bun.
Same thing.
Here's the thing. Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's not the same thing, Ryan.
Yeah,
Cam Newton is better than Jimmy Garoppolo. If Jimmy Garoppolo, I got news for you. If Cam Newton is playing for the San Francisco 49ers, I don't think that
not on crack, David. I don't do drugs.
I don't think that the Chiefs have a ring this year. I'll put it there. I'll put that out there. Okay, because they trusted Garoppolo so much with that. They trusted him so much. He threw all of 10 passes in the Super Bowl. Okay. Yep. So if your quarterback is throwing 10 passes, that's because he is what you call a hindrance.
So let me ask you a question. Why did he throw for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns then?
Why didn't he throw the ball in the playoffs when it mattered?
Because they adapted to the schemes of the other teams.
Proven fact.
Adapted to the schemes of the other teams.
No, okay. Because exactly. Teams figured out what he was, and he's no longer a viable option. So Cam Newton, everybody knew who he was, and they still went to the Super Bowl. And guess what? Carolina still rode that horse all the way to the finish line. Even though they lost, they still trusted him enough to give him the ball.
So let me ask you a question.
Jimmy Garoppolo is like that cousin you don't want to hang out with, but you just have to deal with it so your mom doesn't bitch.
Let me ask you a question. Okay. So the New England Patriots lose to the Tennessee Titans this year in the playoffs. Okay. Tom Brady, greatest quarterback of all time, right? So if Jimmy Garoppolo not throwing the ball was them taking the ball out of his hands. By that logic, Bill Belichick didn't trust Tom Brady to throw the ball down the field and only trusted him to dump it off to the running back in that game.
Okay.
And you're saying right now that Bill Belichick didn't trust the greatest quarterback of all time to air the ball out against the Tennessee Titans defense, who he knew he could beat. So my question to you is right now,
I can't wait any longer.
Would you call that situational, or would you call that a pattern? Because Bill Belichick doing that in one instance seems like a situational call, a coaching call. Whereas in San Francisco, they figured out as the playoffs went on, if you look at his passes every game, they drop. Because their coach is like, Jesus Christ, this guy is going to get us killed.
But they also played prolific
2
pass
touchdowns,
defenses.
3 interceptions.
They also played very good pass defenses, though, dude. They played good pass defenses that whole time.
2
and if you can run the ball,
3 interceptions. That's what his playoff
run the ball and win, you're going to do that. I don't care if you got Peyton Manning. So why did Peyton Manning just hand the ball off in the Super Bowl? Why did Peyton Manning just hand it off in Denver?
How many passing yards did Peyton Manning have in the Super Bowl he played in? More or less than Jimmy Garoppolo? Go.
Probably less. I'll be honest with you. Probably
Peyton
less.
Manning? Peyton Manning.
I'm pretty sure he probably only passed for like 175 yards.
We'll check that right now.
I'm not 100%, but in that Super Bowl, I'm almost positive.
Listen, I can tell you a broken down old Peyton Manning was still trusted more than Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo was a fallacy. He got found out when he went to Denver. Yes, he was bad. He still threw more passes than Garoppolo.
And they weren't effective. And that's why they lost. Yes, the Niners lost, but the Niners were in the game the entire time. And the Niners knew because if they...
The Niners were in the game because Jimmy Garoppolo
I'm not saying that Jimmy Garoppolo is a top 5 quarterback, but what I am saying is I would trust Jimmy Garoppolo more than I would trust Cam Newton, who depends on his legs a whole lot, who just had that Lisfranc injury. I would trust him a little more.
Listen,
I'm just saying.
Here's another thing. I'm going to dispel this myth as well. That Cam Newton is this uber athletic quarterback because he's black, and that's what we do. Cam Newton.
That's not what I was saying.
Cam Newton.
I will never say that.
Cam Newton is a drop back passer with a big body. Cam Newton is Ben Roethlisberger. That's who those two are. That's A and B. And I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying that in general, that's what everybody talks about. Is his ability to move around. He moves around about as well as Ben Roethlisberger.
Yes, Chelsea, we are still talking. Just take it easy, okay?
Going.
All right. So the topic I've been wanting to talk about basically all night.
Touchdowns rookie year.
Cam Newton threw for actually against Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl, went 18 for 41 with 265 yards. Peyton Manning went 13 for 23.
Cam Newton has 58 rushing touchdowns in his career.
Yeah.
You don't do that by being a fat piece of shit. You do that by being athletic.
Easy. All right.
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
I want to get to this next topic. For the love of everything that's holy. Let's talk. Yeah, and I don't care for it. Yeah, well, Chelsea, it's too late. We're done. We're moving on. We just got done. Like, we just talked him for 20 minutes. So if you guys see, scrolling on the bottom below Tom right now, the NFL has updated their marijuana policy. Basically, from my reading, and make sure I say this right, but the only time you will be tested is the first 2 weeks of training camp.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the threshold was raised from 35 nanograms to 150. So I don't know exactly what that means. I don't smoke pot in any way, shape, or form. Some days I wish I did. I have a child and a wife. I love you, hon. I know you're watching right now. I do love you. But with that being said...
Wait. Here. Let me ask you a question with what you just said, Ryan. Are you saying that if you smoke pot, you're not a good father or husband?
No.
Because that's how it came off. And David, get your Swishers out, baby, because we're about to talk about it.
Sweets.
Swisher. Hey,
Swishers, baby, original flavor.
blueberry, strawberry. Anyways, yeah. So great point, Marlon. We are going to touch on that one though.
David, what do you guys? Yes.
What do you guys think? What did he put?
Cole, you just sounded so guilty.
Not guilty,
Ryan.
Not guilty. Not at all. I just felt bad because I threw my wife under the bus and I probably shouldn't have, but it's too late now.
Can I take this real quick? Can I take this real quick, brother?
Yes. Go. Shoot. Run.
Right, cool.
Front.
So I'm going to say something controversial. So I am a person who used to, I don't do it anymore. I used to smoke pot every day from my senior year of high school until 2014. So 7 years. Okay. And the fact of the matter is that stuff does help. I don't do it anymore because it kind of messed with my head a little bit. You know, like I wasn't comfortable anymore because now that stuff I think that stuff is made from anxiety, self-doubt, and paranoia. But what I'm getting at is this weed policy now, I'm going to tell you right now, I would rather see a dude in the NFL who gets hurt smoking some weed or taking like some tinctures or eating some stuff or using the balms, that kind of thing, than getting addicted to Percocet. Because let me tell you right now, and Sammy, you worked in the medical field, you probably see this quite a bit. A Percocet addiction, that stuff is scary. Marijuana addiction is not a real thing in my opinion, and it does help. Okay, so by doing this, I think the NFL has finally progressed and has finally gotten to the point where they care about their players' well-being. Let's just be honest, man. Let's just be honest. Because I've had some friends pass away, good people, lawyers, doctors that I went to college with that have passed away because they were addicted to painkillers. They were addicted to other stuff. That addiction stuff, you don't just start taking it. You start snorting it. You start freebasing it. I mean, with marijuana, you can rub that on. You can take the tincture. You can do whatever you want. The fact of the matter is, dude, this is way overdue, and it is a good thing for the NFL, and it needed to happen 4 or 5 years ago.
So I want to know real quick before Sammy goes, what is the difference between 35 nanograms to 150?
How many?
The amount that's in your system.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not that ignorant. Give me a little bit, right? So I mean, is
I'm assuming
like 35?
I'm assuming it's the time frame of what's left.
I hate you, David.
Yeah.
Hey, David Rivas.
It's the time frame. It's not just the time frame, but the amount that's left that's stored in your fat cells, because marijuana stores in your fat cells. It's not like a stimulant like cocaine, which you can kind of pee out over a couple days. Like if someone were to snort cocaine and go to take a drug test, if they're not high on cocaine at that time, they'll pass their drug test. If a dude hasn't smoked weed in 5 days, they probably won't pass their drug test. So the fact of the matter is, it's what's stored in your fat cells, is what's stored in your liver, it's what's stored in your body. So the 150 milligrams, while it's still not a lot, and it's probably still going to be pretty easy to get busted, it's still a very positive step in the right direction. And I'm going to tell you right now, man, it is. Hey, listen, David, I don't do that stuff, man. Like, for real? Nah, dog, not me. Not me. It's helped my mother big time.
So the question though is, so you appreciate that they're kind of easing back a little bit on it. They're not being as stringent.
I'm not a proponent for marijuana because of what it did to me when I was younger. But and I'm just being transparent. I'm sorry if that makes you guys mad, like Sammy and Ryan, that I'm talking about it on the show. It's just not me anymore. I'm just being honest. I want to be transparent for our viewers, and a lot of you guys know me, so you kind of know who I was. The fact of the matter is, it's just not for me anymore. But the thing is for these guys, it's a huge benefit, because God forbid, like, Nick Chubb gets hurt 2 years ago, they'd be like, yo, dog, take some Vicodin, take some Percocets, take some Tramadol, you'll be good. Now it can be like, yo, Nick, if you want, go to the dispensary down on East 25th and get this tincture, you'll feel better. It lessens the chance for addiction. And David, I agree. Weed isn't bad. It's just not for me, dog.
Right. So I'm gonna just comment real quick,
David
Sammy, and then I'm gonna let you close it out.
balls.
That's twice tonight, David. You better stop, and you might go for the trifecta here in a minute. So I love it. I have no qualm with pot in any way, shape, or form. And you're 130%. Marlon took the words right out of my mouth. What alcohol does, it can be, alcohol is a substance that you do physically get addicted to, that you can actually physically die from not having that product in your body. Weed will allow you to just, I guess, take the edge off, I guess is what it's called. I'm not going to sit here and beat around the bush like I never smoked it before. I've done it. I've done wrong in every way, or not wrong, but I've done it in every way, shape, or form. Agree with you up until the shoes. Come on, man. Come on. But
1 second.
I think it's great, and I like Marlon was, Marlon was saying, it is very disappointing for a product like Josh Gordon. The fact that he was booted from the league from this substance that really now is looked at as a okay thing to do. I think it's legal in 30 states right now or something like that. I don't know how many
11.
exactly, but a
11.
lot.
11.
I was 11. So medicinal purposes, it's probably legal and more than, but
medicinal.
Yeah, maybe that's, I mean, I personally know someone that has it. This gentleman is what is it? He has, when you go overseas, come back, have issues. I can't think of the word. What
PTSD.
Sammy? PTSD. Uses it just to be able to sleep at night, things like that. And man, let's be honest, these pro football players, they are not just getting, patty caked around on a Sunday afternoon. They are getting mollywopped. They are getting hit, putting the bodies on the line. And if this is what it takes, a natural product that comes from our earth, and it helps them, I have no problem with it, as long as they can handle themselves and become a better person and continue growing.
I'm so sorry. I just want to say one more thing, and then you can have the rest of the show. I don't care, dude. All right. So I apologize. So the other thing we need to talk about is mental health. Okay. So a lot of these guys aren't supermen. They are afflicted with a lot of issues that we are as well. Depression, anxiety. Very transparent. I had a very, very dark time in my life where I was prescribed a pill for my depression. It's called Xanax. And by no, not sugarcoating it, I was legit addicted. I had to seek help for it. If you told me in that time, Tom, this is legal, this is going to help you, marijuana will help you with your anxiety, your depression, you might not, your thoughts of suicide, your thoughts of hurting yourself might be alleviated because of marijuana, I would have never took Xanax. And I lost a lot of years of my life because of that. Total transparency. Marijuana will do nothing but good for physical and mental health for guys, because make no mistake, mental health is a big issue in the NFL as well. So absolutely get it going. And Sammy, I am so sorry I took from your thunder, bro. Go ahead, my guy.
No, that's not my thunder. I wasn't going the mental health route at all. So my only thing is
giving you a social distance talk, David.
They completely ruined the career of Josh Gordon, but the more and more I thought about that, Josh Gordon is the type of player that if he wasn't getting suspended for marijuana, was going to get suspended for something else. So I'm not sure how much truth there is in that. Ricky Williams is a good example of it, though. Ricky Williams smokes weed, chose weed over football, never really gotten any trouble outside of that. So his career was shortened. I could see Josh Gordon maybe trying to file some sort of suit against the Players Association for not looking into his best interest. The Browns deserve some draft pick or some compensation because of all the times that they had to deal with a completely, out of touch policy for marijuana. As for the pain and stuff like that, marijuana, I would say is a much better option. I don't know anybody that has lost their kids because they're smoking weed. I know people have lost their kids because they steal shit for Percocet. I know, you know what I mean? I don't know anybody breaking into cars for a dime bag. I know people breaking into houses because they want to sell your remote control to the pawn store for $15 so they can go get a hit.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's that. I guess that files under mental health, but of all the vices in modern day society, I would say marijuana is by far the least destructive. So the fact that they demonized it is ridiculous. So you know, I'm glad that they're finally moving forward. It will be interesting to see. I don't know if the NBA is there yet or not. I don't know if
they are. They don't really penalize for marijuana use.
Yeah, because
I read a whole article.
Steven Jackson said that was one of the reasons why his career got cut short as well. Because he's a big, like, green grow guy. I would like
Tracy McGrady said he looked so disinterested. He was like, you know why I look so disinterested? Think about it. And then he went like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you can hang 32 points and smoke some ganj, bro, I don't see a problem.
Like I said, I don't see the problem with it. You have Michael Jordan smoking stogies and drinking Budweiser in a locker room. So if that's okay,
way more addictive substances.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If that's okay, then, you know, why not? And just like in all things,
just some Scud missiles coming from David. Good night.
Hey, listen, bro. Maybe it's just like the residual effects of that I have an affection for OBJ. But I do love me some Charlie Murphy, Jerry Curl, Platinum Blonde OBJ.
Charlie Murphy. All right. Well, smack. Hey, listen, everybody. I want to thank everyone for joining in tonight. It's been a great show. A lot of entertainment going on tonight. I mean, we peaked around like 30 people at once, so it was awesome. Love everything about it. Love you guys for joining with us. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the share button. Jump over to YouTube if you can and subscribe over there for us. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't forget, our website launched today, or was it yesterday? But either way,
yesterday.
440andgold.com. Go on there. You're going to see some new stuff launching from us, especially from Sammy, Tom, and then our one of our key contributors, Nick Millman. And then, so coming up here, just so everyone has a heads up, we are going to change our schedule around a little bit just to help. Everyone's kind of getting back to work, whatever it may be in some way, shape, or form. We're going to start doing Tuesdays and Fridays, 8:30 kickoff, and then the potential. Typically, we're going to have a premiere, probably a special episode or a special drop of information or drop of a video on Sundays. Don't know what time yet on Sundays. Probably late, probably 8:30, still 9 o'clock, like we usually would do a show. But it's either going to be that or we are going to have a show on Sundays. One of the two. It just depends on a week-to-week basis, see how things go. But we are changing it up just to better adjust with our family life schedules and everything like that. So don't forget to join us. So now it's Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sunday. There'll be some special content or we'll be live. So anything else you
add on to that?
Yep.
To add on to that, Ryan. So obviously we want to reach you guys in a very big way. Billman, myself, Sammy, we are all going to be posting on the website quite frequently. You can look for content probably every day, not from every one of us, but from at least one of us every day. There will be content. There will be blogs. Nick and I do have a Madden franchise coming up for Madden 20. We want to get some guys in there. Marcus Pearson, Marlon, whoever. I know you downloaded Madden, so I know you want to get in that. Ryan, if you download Madden, you can get in that. We'll be reporting on that. The website's going to have a lot of stuff. But Ryan, it's because we just mollywop you, dog. Like, be the Patriots destroy you. Anyway, what I'm getting at is this show, 440 and Goal, isn't a show. 440 and Goal is a encompassing umbrella where we're going to be putting stuff out.
Whoa.
look at the website. Look at everything. We're going to be putting stuff out. We want you guys involved. We want you guys commenting. We're going to have a message board soon so we can have fan interaction at all times. I'm very excited. Thank you so much for being a part of this, guys. And Sammy, I know I can speak for you with this. We're going to be putting some good stuff out because this is going to expand in a very large way.
Listen, before we go, I want to tell you guys about something I saw earlier this week, and I had to share it because I called it the Jake Newsome wet dream. Once upon a time, there was a golf tournament that Tom Brady and Michael Jordan not only played, but they won. And all I could do is see in the background Jake Newsome looking like that guy from Happy Gilmore, like, hey, guys, you want to go to Red Lobster?
Yeah. Hey, there's that golf tournament tomorrow. There's the golf tournament tomorrow. Tiger, Phil, Peyton, and Tom. And you know I'm watching it.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again, everyone, for joining the show. Don't forget, Tuesdays, Fridays, we're going to be 8:30 live, and then the occasional Sunday, we'll figure that one out. But we will let you guys know ahead of time if we will be live on a Sunday. It won't be in the dark. But goat on goat action, that just sounds weird. I'm not going to lie.
That's an Alabama man's fantasy right there. Goat on goat action, brother.
Oh, thanks again, guys, for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and follow us.
He's rock hard right now.
Good night, David.
That thumbs up button if you haven't already. Find us on the Tube of You 440 at 440 Goal on YouTube. So, all right.
Listen, guys, get to YouTube. We need subscribers.
Thank you. Yeah, check it out. Ryan Cole signing off. Thanks again, guys.
Owski, cuz. I'll see you Tuesday.
Deuces.
Tom Roth signing out. Look for another blog. We got a couple up on 441goal.com, guys. Thank you so much for staying with us tonight.
Here you go. Talk to y'all on, what is today? Saturday. See you guys on Tuesday. Tuesday, 8:30.
Yeah.
Ow!
Our heroes proved in liberating strife. Who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. Success be nobleness and ever again divine. And you know, when I was in school, we used to sing something like this. Listen here. Oh, beautiful, far spacious skies, far amber waves of grain, far purple mountain majesties, over the fruited plain. But now wait a minute, I'm talking about America. Sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee. He crowned thy good. Yes, he did.